Your life is a summation of your daily thoughts and habits. My friends, what are you doing every day to move your life forward? In each different area, do a little something. If it's getting out and doing nothing more than a walk, getting up 10 minutes early to do that, whatever your spiritual practice is, move yourself forward that way. Your finances, one way you can do it is 10 to 15 minutes with us each and every day, learning how to track stocks, bonds, gold, Bitcoin, all these things. I have been very busy today. An over an hour long live question answer session with our Patreon members that has been recorded, that has been put together, that has been edited and out to all of our Patreon members. Check your inboxes also. Everything we do for Patreon members, we also publish at the Patreon page. If you didn't get the email, go there. We also did the Charting Crypto. Now, I released last week's Charting Crypto for everybody. You can see that. This week's I just did, and again, released that to Patreon members. We have 3 levels of Patreon support. Any of those will get you everything that I am talking about. The live question answer call-in session, Charting Crypto once a week, and of course, our 10 weekly vertical crossovers that come out tomorrow night. So I'm a little bushed as I sit down with you a little late recording the daily review, but it's extremely important that we go through it each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes. I'll be here just like I ask you to be here, and it will be worth every single minute you spend if you put it in on a daily basis, learning what? The nuances of how these stocks, bonds, these ETFs, gold, Bitcoin, all those things move. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. Another update for stocks. We see a green spinning top now forming more like a doji before, turning into a green spinning top. We can see movement on top, movement on the bottom. Price percent oscillator, which was heading down very strongly, has flattened. Derivative oscillator has flattened. What are these markets doing? Is this nothing but a rest with another plunge coming? Don't know. Could be. The 2-day still down, but is heading up. Derivative oscillator, when I say heading up, I'm talking about the price percent oscillator. That's our main indicator. That's always what I look at first. I also look at the derivative oscillator. That's a leading indicator, a triple smooth version of the relative strength index. It is losing downward momentum. We have a nice big green up candle after the Monday spinning top. So it's gaining energy. It's pushed through in 2 days, the 2-day trend line, and is right up there on the weekly. The wick has punched through the weekly, so there is a lot of strength, at least these 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, the 1st and 2nd of February. So we'll continue to wait, watch, and see where things are going. Look at the half day. You can see as this trend line continues to move up. How many candles can we connect? We can at least get 3. We're close to 2 others. So again, you can see where things push through the weekly in the morning, further up on the half day, blew out the 2-day all the way back on Monday morning. So again, strong movement, hasn't changed anything yet, haven't had a crossover going up on the 2-day. Weekly still a long way away from a crossover. I mean, gosh, I guess if things went super crazy, you'd get close to that by the end of the week. Not likely, but we'll watch and see if stocks are going to recover and give us the ability to ride them up again, or if this is just a breather before the drop. Look at the Qs, still much more iffy there. Really have a doji there right now. Price percent oscillator still heading down, not quite flat. Derivative oscillator losing some momentum. 2-day, again, green up candle right up there hasn't penetrated as far as the wick goes, the weekly trend line, but it's pushed through the 2-day. Price percent oscillator heading up. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum. Very similar as far as the movement goes on the half day, except we can see a weakening at the end of the day. Even though we pushed through in the morning, the weekly, we had a red candle, red open box candle at the end of the day, which is just a slowdown in the up movement, but still up 0.81% for the NASDAQ 100, S&P 500 up 0.97%. Going to leave stocks, go to bonds, up for the day a little bit, 0.34%. Still a red down candle forming, really a sideways slide underway. Price percent oscillator heading down. Derivative oscillator maybe gaining a little bit of downward momentum. 2-day, flat, just flat. Red spinning top from a green, almost doji, from a red spinning top, from a green spinning top, from another green spinning top. So lots of sideways sliding action, still negative though, and pushing through that weekly trend line. Half day, again, you can see that sideways slide underway. So again, still negative on the 2-day, negative on the weekly. Things are just pattering along, again, with downward weight and momentum. So we'll see. As, again, stocks are trying to slow the slide, bonds slowing the slide. What about gold? Up 0.36%. Still a red down candle. Gold has not crossed over going down yet. It looked like that was going to happen. It may or may not. It is pulled back through, which can happen while the candle is forming. Remember, how long does it take for a weekly 5-day candle to form? 5 days. We don't call it until it happens. Derivative oscillator still holding on to some green. We shall wait and see as this week goes forward. 2-day, of course, crossed over going down, and we should have fixed that. We're doing it now. And this is how easy it is to do these things. I like y'all to see me doing these on TC2000 because it works so beautifully well. We see the derivative oscillator heading down, price percent oscillator gaining downward momentum. Solid green candle right there in the middle of the solid red. That's a slowdown in the down movement. But again, downward pressure on gold on that 2-day. Weekly, just not enough to cross over yet. Could happen by the end of the week. But if this slow move upward continues, that's not likely. We'll see what happens on Thursday and Friday. Still might have a weekly vertical crossover before all is said and done. And what's up with Bitcoin? Well, a slowdown in the down movement this week, but again, down today, 2.28%. When I say a slowdown in the down movement, that's what that solid green candle means. But look at the price percent oscillator still heading down. Derivative oscillator shows some of that slowdown in the leading indicator, but again, lots of downward pressure still on Bitcoin. 2-day, we've got and again, a little bit of a hopeful sign. A doji is what I would call that. And it's a little bit of down movement. Most of it's up. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum. Price percent oscillator about flat. But again, we've seen Bitcoin even post 4 days of up movement and then dropping off again. So we see these ledges where it slows and then boom, slows and up a little, boom, slows, sideways a little, boom. So we're not going to hold our breath. What about the half day? And again, we just sort of see things moving up. We can see, though, where we did penetrate that half-day trend line for what it means. So we'll just continue to watch. Nothing to do on Bitcoin at this point. In fact, nothing to do in Ethereum at this point. If you look at the overall top 10 cryptocurrencies, let me show you. Let me go to actually Ethereum with the weekly chart. You can see a slowdown in that down movement. And if you look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies, again, they are just continuing to head down. A slowdown this week could be related to Bitcoin a little bit. But again, I just gone through for the Patreon members all of the top 11 charts. Everything strongly down when it comes to cryptocurrencies. This chart is the top 10 cryptocurrencies as per market capitalization. So again, Look at that price percent oscillator, derivative oscillator's about flat, but lots of downward momentum. We can see on the 2-day a sideways slide underway. A little bit of hopeful green candle there, but totally swallowed by that prior red candle. So someday the crypto market's going to turn around, and guess who's going to be standing there waiting for it? We are. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth, World Headquarters.